My name is Carolyn. I am the co-founder and CEO of Borrow Baby. We're America's first circular retailer focused on the children's space, children's apparel mainly. And what I'm excited to talk to you about today is really the power of the circular economy and how it really is the future of commerce, the future of how we eat, sleep, do business, and live. So everyone always asks, how did you start a company in the children's apparel space? I'm actually a chemical engineer, and that's what I did for 15 plus years of my previous career. And when I did that, I worked in agrochemicals, agriculture in general. I worked in petroleum, oil and gas, petrochemicals, wastewater treatment. And I worked for very large chemical companies, which most people wouldn't consider to be sustainable at all. And I definitely had an ethical issue with that. But I also saw a huge opportunity in the circular economy. So as a chemical engineer, I've always been very aware of the principles of circularity, but I always knew that the incumbent companies would never make a huge pivot, and that it leaves a huge opportunity for startups and new businesses to come in and disrupt. To be honest with you, I never really knew how to apply it until I had my first child. So I have a daughter, and after about 6 months, I was drowning in outgrown and oversized items I didn't know what to do with. And when I did some research, I was flabbergasted to learn that in the United States, we do not recycle any apparel whatsoever. We either incinerate, export, or landfill the majority of those items. So I knew I could apply these principles of circularity to try to create a solution for that. And that's really what the basis of Borrow Baby is all about. So you can go to the next slide. I think I'm preaching to the choir here as well. I mean, we're talking about the net channel shift in consumer behavior and how sustainability is no longer a buzzword, but it really is table stakes. So I think everyone here is aligned on that. You can go to the next slide. I think what's really unique, you can go to the next slide.
They're auto-timed, Carolyn. So
oh, my bad. Okay. So yeah, sorry, this is a slow one, but I'll just describe the business overall. So the key to circularity, there's 3 pillars to the circular economy. It's regenerating natural systems, keeping products in use, and eliminating waste. And so what we've done at Borrow Baby is really create a system that does all 3 of these things. And by doing that, we actually create a very profitable and equitable solution to a lot of issues that we have in fashion. In the United States, the average American throws out 60% of their garments just 12 months after they purchase them, which is a huge environmental liability. So what we do at Borrow Baby is we've created a solution. So we only source ethically made organic fiber. We sell it, and then we incentivize the return, and then we rent it multiple times. And when we can no longer reuse that item, we're able to compost or recycle it because we're so careful in how we source the fiber. So we're the first company in the US to compost clothing at commercial scale, and everything that we carry is intrinsically recyclable, and we take on that responsibility. I think the most important thing to point out here, and a lot of people have touched on it, is the value of community and how it's really communities, especially in the United States, not the government, that is going to push initiatives like this forward. And at Borrow Baby, we really focus on the value of the mother and how much she is going to push the sustainability agenda forward. So we're actually creating a unique technology on the back end to connect moms through products, because our business model is really based on handing down products from one mother and one child to another. And we see a lot of value in this, and we really think it's a great way to build community and show how we're all connected to one another. Because when it comes to circular economy and sustainability, if you don't have connectivity between people, nothing is really ever going to work. So that's our story of Borrow Baby. Thank you so much for having us.